If you guys haven't tried using a leaf blower as a car dryer, you absolutely have to try that. You're going to see that you're going to dry your vehicle in a matter of just a few minutes, and it's going to be completely effortless, especially if you already have some protection on your paint, like a wax, a paint sealant, or a ceramic coating. So those hydrophobic properties are going to help the water just fly off with the help of this forced air. So in my case, I've been using a few blow dryers or car dryers in my arsenal. I have one from Metrovac, the Master Blaster Revolution. I have a Big Boy Blower R Pro, their range topping unit. So those are two corded versions, but the one I go to the most is my cordless Ego. This is the 650 CFM unit. I previously had a 580 CFM. I've also tried their 765, which is their latest, and this is the one I stuck to, but honestly, they're pretty much all overkill. Even the 580 was overkill. You can get away with something like a 400 CFM kind of unit in their lineup, but I digress. So I'll be talking about some different options you have for the nozzle attachments today in this video, because the one that comes with it, this one here, this is the stock Ego wand or nozzle if you want, the attachment. So it goes on very easily, as you guys are going to tell. It's just a clip-on basically. So there you go. But this one here, this attachment comes in at 23 inches. So although it's fantastic because for blowing leaves, right? So this is what you're going to use use in your garden or outside in your home for yard work and all that kind of stuff for blowing leaves around. So you want that long reach. When we're doing car detailing, what we want is a stubbier nozzle to get closer to the vehicle, obviously, and focus more of that air on the paint and obviously have it to be more practical. So what we use are stubby nozzles. So I'll have two today that I'll talk about that I've been testing out, including, first of all, this ApexAire unit. This is their latest AGES02 version, so that's their latest revision of it. And the newest one in the bunch from Ego themselves, they came out with their Ego attachment. So they call this their short tube attachment. We're going to talk about the price, the value, the fit and finish, the build quality, how easy it is to apply. Is there one that's better than the other? And I'll also be showing this thing right here, which is called a blower band. It's kind of a rubberized protector for the tip of the nozzle, so that way if you accidentally hit the paint, it won't scratch or damage anything. Quick disclaimer, this is not a sponsored video. Nobody paid for this video. Ego did not send me the new unit because that's what the main video is about. And also I'll include all the links to the tools and products in the description under the video for you guys to check them out. So all you have to do is sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Also, I have the full kind of demo on my three blowers that I use. So again, the Metrovac Master Blaster Revolution, the Big Boy Blower R Pro on the other side of my wall, and of course the Ego blower. So this is the cordless version. The other two are corded. So if you want to have a comparison, check that out. At the time, I did not have these stubbies because they weren't released. So you're going to see that video has the longer attachment. So what is this blower basically? You can go and check out the video for all the features, but 600 CFM, more than enough power. What I have with this is the 5 amp hour battery. It comes with the guide here in the back so you can check the battery level. This one here is fully charged, and you can use either the stock charger that comes with it. Typically they'll give you a 320 watt charger, and it takes 70 minutes to charge a 5 amp hour battery. But what I have and what I recommend is that you guys get the rapid charger, which is 550 watts, and it'll charge the 5 amp hour battery in just 40 minutes. Or you can get a newer turbo charger. That one is 700 watts, and you can charge a 5 amp hour battery in just 30 minutes. So I always have two batteries, by the way, ready to go so I can cycle through. So the one on the unit and another fresh one ready to go. You can use any Ego powered battery that you want. They're all compatible with, of course, their tools. However, I like the 5 amp hour unit because it's a good compromise of lighter weight, although not as lightweight as the 2.5 amp hour, but that doesn't give you any juice and enough long running time to do an entire vehicle. So the 5 amp hour battery is the sweet spot because the bigger ones are too heavy. And this one here allows me to blow dry an entire vehicle, whether it's my own Porsche 911 Turbo S or my girlfriend's Nissan Rogue, kind of a average compact size SUV or vehicle in general. And that's including using it in turbo mode because we have the turbo button here up top, which you can use with the trigger itself. So that really speeds things up. You're going to dry your car in what, 3-5 minutes tops, especially again. These, by the way, any blower is good if you have protection on your paint. Again, a wax, a sealant, or a ceramic coating. If your paint has no protection and the water just lies down in a flat sheet and is slow to sheet off and has no water beating, car dryer won't do much. You might as well just use a microfiber drying towel and a drying aid because you won't have the hydrophobics helping you, right? So blowers are good if your paint has protection. Of course, this stock nozzle that comes with it, that's good for yard work and blowing leaves, but this is way too long and not practical really for a vehicle. So the first one I had tested is this one here from ApexAire. So it's a two-part system, and why that is they have an interchangeable tip system. So you see here, this top part, there's two clips, right? So there's one here for the top part and this one here, which attaches to the blower itself. So they had that because the interchangeable tip system is made for future attachments if they come on with that. So what you would do is you would take the top portion off, just like so. So you separate it, and then technically on the base unit, you can install other accessories. So just note that that's why they came up with that design. It is very well built, high quality. The guys really did a great job. You can find them over at Obsessed Garage. Matt Moorman worked closely with the owner of ApexAire to have these. They can fit pretty much all Eagle blowers with different kind of tolerances, but the build quality is very good. At the end, they do have this kind of rubberized material. So in case you accidentally hit a part of your vehicle, it won't scratch it. So I really, really like that. A nice soft tip, but I still recommend, and what I use is this blower band. So it's basically a rubberized elastic attachment that I put on top, and it gives you even more protection, right? So this one here is very, very soft. You can get them in different colors. I have gray ones, blue ones. You can get this green one, I think matches well with the kind of Ego branding. So I really like that. And now if we have a look at the fitment itself, so there's one clip on this side. So on revision number 2, which this one is, because they had the AEGS version 01. This is the latest model. What they improved is the fit and also the spring rates on the clips, so they can be a bit sturdier. So what you would do is slide it onto your unit like this, and then it clips on. And if we want to have a look, there's still a little bit of play. See this here? So I gave some feedback to the company. They're super awesome. And by the way, they take the constructive criticism, because obviously, as they said, it's hard to have a one kind of nozzle fit all the different units because they have different tolerances on the Eagle blowers. So this is the kind of play that it has, and we'll see how it compares with the Eagle version, but hopefully you can see that on camera. So that's, people were asking what kind of play you get. You get that with that, but I can still lift the unit from the nozzle itself. And yes, you do have some play in there, but it still stays firmly in hand. So what I do is when I pick it up, I make sure that the nozzle is steady and sturdy and good to go. And then you can start using your unit. So if we have a look here, this is the second longest of the bunch, coming in at 11 inches. So from tip to tip, this is 11 inches. And then, so you have this clip here, if you want to easily slide that off. And then if we have a look at the other one, the ApexAire, by the way, comes in at roughly 88 USD at the time of this recording. We're filming this in December of 2023. So it is quite expensive, but it is very, very well built to very high standards. They used quality parts. You can tell the design is awesome, all the way up to their logo on there. This is not a cheap kind of eBay 3D printed type product. There's been a lot of thought and care put into this, and a lot of R&D as well. And so Ego was a bit late to their own game. I think they probably saw the enthusiasm for the detailing community to have these stubby nozzles, because you do find a lot of them that are 3D printed, so on and so forth. And so they came out with their own, what they call their short tube attachment. We call it a Stubby, right, or Stubby nozzle. So they have the green clip, which matches their branding. Here is kind of a rubberized material up top. They have their own logo there, as you can tell. But yeah, this is rubberized, and here there's kind of a jacket or a sleeve on top of the plastic portion. I don't know if you can tell that, see that? So this one too will kind of protect in case of accidental knocking on the paint. But for this one too, I highly recommend that you get the blower band. So there you go with the blower band. I'm going to leave all of these linked, by the way, in the description under the video. So you have now tons of rubber, tons of protection in case you accidentally hit it. So that is the blower band. So now let's check the fit and finish. So very easy. What I noticed with this, if we look at the internals because you're going to see the fitting on this is a lot tighter tolerance. And the reason being, if we look inside the ApexAire, you can tell all around the tubing, there's not much material in there, right? Other than the round plastic kind of housing. Now, if we have a look at the internal portion of the Ego itself, now you see all these ribbed ridges. See that there? So that's the biggest difference, because the rest, there's not much, just like the ApexAire, but they do have this section here with a bunch of ridges, and I think it helps the unit have a snugger fit, and that's what I'm going to show you now. So you would take this, same as for the ApexAire, you're going to line up the clip with this tab here on the side, just slide it in. There you go, it clicks into place. And so if we have a look now, there's a little bit of play, but not as much. So you still need a bit of a wiggle room, obviously, because the tolerances are different from one blower to another. So the 580 CFM, the 430 CFM, the 650, the 765, they're not quite exactly built the same. So the fit, it's just a bit tighter. There's still, of course, a little wiggle and wobble, but this one too, you can pick up from the head and there should be no worries. Again, when I take the unit, I make sure that the nozzle itself is snug on there and you're good to go. So this one is the shortest of the bunch. If you can tell on camera, this comes in at only 8 inches. So this is the shortest. If we put the ApexAire side to side with the Ego, see that? You can tell the difference right there in height. So 8 inches for the Ego and 11 inches for the ApexAire, this kind of stack. They both have these here. If we look at the tips, they're both very, very, very similar. Let me actually measure the diameter from tip to tip. So here we're looking at just close to 3 inches. And if I measure the ApexAire, what do we have here? So this one too, close to 3-inch opening. So as far as the diameter, you're getting roughly the same diameter, but for the length, it's a bit different, but they both work super well. There's no difference in performance that I noted. They both just blow focused air. This is what I like of these tips. They will blow focused air on your vehicle and just make drying your car a lot quicker, regardless of which one you get. I think you're getting very, very good quality stuff. Obviously, for value, the Ego wins the matchup because it comes in at only 34 USD at the time of this video, at least the websites I found this on. And yeah, so it is very, very inexpensive, and you can be sure that you have full compatibility with your Ego blowers. It has that kind of Ego look. I really like these ridges that they put on. I like the rubberized material for the entire front portion of this, which is different than the rest. So this here, this portion here up front, that's the rubberized, and the rest here, this is just your standard plastic, but very, very well made. That green clip, which follows the rest of the Ego kind of branding, so that looks cool. And it's easy, one button, you slide it off, and you can switch to another type accessory if you want to. So yeah, overall, for value, I have to give it to the Ego. Build quality, they're pretty much the same. Maybe the plastic on the ApexAire feels a bit higher end compared to the plastic portion on the Ego, but definitely this material I really like up front. So I'm sure ApexAire will think of another revision that they're working on. But regardless, if you guys are using a blower, let me know which one in the comment section. I'm curious. Have you tested Ego blowers? If you haven't, I really like these. Again, this video is not sponsored. Nobody paid for this video. I'm just giving you my updated, because I've been using Ego blowers for years now. I even got one for my father. He's 77 years old, but still likes to wash his car every now and then in his driveway. His garage is too small for that. He has a Subaru Forester, so it's quite a decent size kind of SUV. And so every now and then he'll go out and wash it. And obviously I ceramic coated it for him. And the cool thing is I showed him that you can use a car dryer to make your things a lot quicker, especially if you're working outside. You're not necessarily in the shade all the time. The sun pops out. It's not ideal conditions. You want to dry your car very quickly to not have any water spotting issues. And so the neighbors are looking at him like, what is this guy doing? So he's an elder gentleman, but he's using this technology that's awesome. I got him a stool as well, a work platform that he can go on to wash the top of his vehicle. I'm 6'3", but he's only 5'7" or 5'8". So to reach that top portion is a lot harder. So I got that for him, and it just makes his life easier. But the blower he really enjoys. In a few minutes he's done, so he can move on to other tasks and chores or just enjoy his day. So definitely check out a blower. It doesn't have to be the Ego one. Maybe you guys have found other cordless blowers that you guys really enjoy. But yeah, check all this stuff up. I'll leave them linked in the description under the video for you guys to check them out. If you use the ApexAire and you love it, or you have some criticism, maybe some constructive criticism for the brand, let us know in the comments what they could improve. And if you have the Ego as well, did you try both? Do you only have the Ego? What are your thoughts and opinions? I'm always curious to have your feedback. So in the meantime, guys, don't forget, keep it tight, keep it clean, and I'll see you on the next one.